3 minutes to the top of the hour 4 o'clock. But let's penetrate a little bit. Let's penetrate a little bit. You get to understand. Don't worry, I don't mean any harm. Yes. This is the Drive Time with Insurers, but this is the Drive Time of Joy on your Super Hits Radio 99.7 FM. My name is Boampong, and it's time now to get to know everything you want to know about insurance penetration. And this forms part of the Drive Time with Insurers. And I have with me a lovely lady from Enterprise Insurance. She is the Assistant General Manager, Corporate Distribution. Her name is Mrs. Mercy Boampong. Hi.
Hi.
Can I call you AGM? How are we doing?
I'm very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I mentioned the word penetration, and my producer Ellen Maite was about to scream. Did I do any wrong?
No, you didn't. Good evening to your lovely listeners.
Good evening.
To the team.
Good evening, Mrs. Boampong. You're welcome. Now, we're talking about penetration with regards to insurance. So then everybody wants to know, what are we talking about when we say insurance penetration?
Okay. So insurance penetration talks about or describes the strength of the insurance industry of any country, or the development of insurance within any country. So that is what insurance penetration is all about. So the extent to which insurance is developed or is contributing to the economy of any nation is that insurance penetration.
Well, and what's the rate like in Ghana? I mean, how deep is the penetration in Ghana?
Okay, so first I'll say how is this measured. So insurance penetration is measured by, it's a ratio, and it's a ratio of the gross premiums underwritten by the insurance companies within that country. So a ratio of that to the gross domestic product, that's the GDP of the country. So we are looking at the gross annual insurance premiums for any given period as a ratio of the gross domestic product.
So for instance, for like a period of 12 months, like for a year, over the GDP of the year for the country. Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
You did ask about the penetration rates in Ghana. Penetration rate is very low. It's, as of 2017, the rate was 1.2.
Really?
In 2018, it's actually dropped to 1%. We are not talking about the uptake of insurance. This is the proportion of the contribution of the insurance industry to the gross domestic GDP. And when it comes to uptake of insurance, then we are talking about insurance coverage. So you are looking at the proportion of lives that have taken up insurance. So that's, as at the end of 2017, was at 30%.
30%?
Yes.
Okay, so it means that 30% of Ghanaians are on some form of insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how does this compare to other countries?
Okay. So when comparing insurance penetration across jurisdictions, one needs to be very careful because there are the components vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. In Ghana, for instance, when we talk about insurance penetration, the ratio only takes care of insurance premiums from the life and the non-life industry. Whereas in other jurisdictions, it is the life and non-life insurance industry plus national health insurance. Here in Ghana, national health insurance is not regulated by the National Insurance Commission, and so it doesn't form part when we talk about insurance penetration in Ghana.
Are you looking at any collaboration?
There is a bill which is seeking to include the regulation of, to bring national health insurance under the umbrella of the NIC. The other thing is, in addition to the inclusion of national health insurance premiums in the calculation of insurance penetration in other jurisdictions, there is also the inclusion of contributions to pensions.
Okay.
For other jurisdictions, yes, for other jurisdictions, the contribution to pension, towards pension, is also included in the calculation of insurance penetration. So it becomes very difficult to just pick the penetration rate across jurisdiction and just compare.
So
because you need to know the components, what went into the calculation of penetration.
Which means that if you want to do the comparison, then you have to either add up all of these things and put them in one, or pick what aspects that are regulated by the NIC, like you rightly mentioned.
So currently, we are using the life and the non-life insurance premium. We ended at 1% at end of 2018. If we should add the contribution to pensions and national health, then we'll be looking at twice that rate.
So that would be like just 2% again.
Yeah.
Because twice one is 2.
So that is the extent to which the insurance industry contributes to the GDP.
Wow. Okay, but thing is, you're saying the contribution to GDP is just 1%, but there are more people taking up insurance policies than before, right? And premiums keep going up year on year. At least I pay my insurance to enterprise, and every year it goes up, it goes higher. Now, why then do we have a low penetration rate?
Okay, so the low penetration rate, yes, I did mention that uptake of insurance, which is insurance coverage, is currently at 30%. So yes, at 30% or above currently. It's also because, in addition to the fact that for us, we don't include the pensions and the national health, the health insurance premium, health insurance in general. There's also the larger population, significant number of the population who have taken up insurance, have taken it through by way of microinsurance products. And the microinsurance products premiums are very low. And so, even with the large volumes, their contribution to the penetration rate is very negligible. The other things are, how do we improve penetration, or what could be hindering the penetration rate? We have improving economic conditions.
Okay.
As economic conditions improve, and economic conditions will be measured by GDP, and for what goes into your pockets, they'll be looking at per capita and GDP per capita. So as GDP per capita income goes up, since 2010, it's moved from $1,300 to currently at end of December, it was 2018 was $1,808 or $1,807. So as the per capita income increases, then you have increasing disposable income becoming available to households. And then there's also this trend about increasing middle class members of the population.
Wait, so far who are the so it's a high class,
increasing middle class. It goes with economic development.
Sure.
Now, once you start having economic development, increasing disposable income, the increasing rate of the middle class population, then there's the greater awareness of insurance. There's also greater awareness among the middle class population about the need. They become more aware of the risk, and they are conscious of protecting their assets against the unfortunate incidents. So then uptake of insurance also goes up. With the increase in uptake of insurance, which is insurance coverage, it also increases penetration. So that is one area. The other area is the growing population. The low penetration, per the records, population has been increasing on the average at an average rate of 2.2% and per annum, yes. And we understand that about 50 or so percent of the population is made up of people under the age of 25. These are considered to be the millennials, and they are also considered to be very tech savvy. But unfortunately, the insurance industry is still leaning towards or highly concentrated with involved with the traditional form of distribution, which is the normal brick and mortar, the normal. But these people want to sit in the comfort of their homes and be able to transact any insurance policy. So the fact that the insurance industry has not adopted other more technology-oriented ways of distributing the product is also impacting on the low penetration
I think
rates.
enterprise life is good at that. Enterprise insurance actually.
In life, yes, that's true. Then we have urbanization. When you look at urbanization, everything happens in the urban centers.
Yeah.
And in Accra, when we look at the insurance premiums, about 80% of the insurance premiums come from the greater Accra. So with the over concentration of businesses in the urban areas, then it means the industry also needs to understand the needs of these businesses. Most of these businesses are medium to small scale. And the other thing is we also have issues with research. The insurance industry is reluctant or doesn't allocate significant proportion of their budget or significant amount of their budget to research.
With all the money
And
you
so
make.
what it means is we tend to be less customer focused in our product innovation and our product development. So without the research, we are unable to understand the actual needs and identify the needs of the customers, the target customers we are supposed to serve, and develop products or solutions that address those things. These are all problems or issues or areas that are factors that impact on the low penetration. But the NIC and then the other bodies within the insurance industry are really working very hard towards increasing the penetration.
It means that we can possibly achieve 100% penetration rate sometime? Or that will take forever?
Unfortunately, if we achieve 100% penetration rate, it means the business of Ghana is insurance. What it means is that because we say the penetration is a ratio of the premium to the GDP.
Yeah.
So if we say 100%, it means nothing else is going on apart from insurance and insurance-related activities. So 100% no, because there are other sectors of the economy. You have the agri, you have the manufacturing, yes. So insurance really being the engine of business growth should contribute more than the current 2% rate.
And what is the target figure? In what year?
Yes.
What number of years?
So for within the next few years, which is the medium to long term. So we are looking at the next 4-5 years.
10 years.
The industry is targeting a penetration rate of 5% from the current between 2 and 1% to a 5% penetration rate.
That's awesome. All right, so let's wrap up on this conversation with you giving us a final word, Mrs. Mercy Boampong.
Okay, so what I'll say is, insurance is, I'm sure some of my colleagues have already explained the principles behind insurance, which is the fact that it's a pool where a number of people come together to pool their resources so that in the event somebody suffers the unfortunate incident, there will be support for the person. So everybody is exposed to one risk or the other, and there are insurance products to cater for the needs of everybody. So whether you own the house or that is what impacts on the penetration as well. So it's important that we all take up insurance. There are various insurance products for the life and then for the non-life, your vehicle, your house. If you don't own the house, you own the clothes, you don't own other properties within the house. They must be insured against the natural perils and fire and other events. So insurance needs to be taken. And we must be willing to pay, of course, yes. We must be willing to pay the right premium so that in the event of a loss, we will get properly.
When will my premium stop increasing?
That's increased benefit for you. Premium should not increase. You should not pay the same premium every year.
Okay.
You should be reviewing, if you are doing property insurance, you should be reviewing your sums insurance every year so that your premiums may not go up proportionately with the increase in sum insurance. Yes, because premium rates are very low. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mercy Boampong, Assistant General Manager, Corporate Distribution at Enterprise Insurance. And when we say enterprise, say
your advantage.
Thank you very much. All right. That was time with the insurers. Drive time with the insurers. We're still here at the Junction Mall. You're still listening to the Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. We're still at the Junction Mall where we are bringing you Joy at the Mall from today right down to Sunday. Come, let's have fun, let's have a party, eat some food, kids get to play, everything you want for every member of your family. This is where you have to be, the Junction Mall for Joy at the Mall. DJ Brudash, then we have more of a party.